Mekelle, also transliterated as Mekelle or Mek'ele, is the capital city in the northern Tigray region of Ethiopia. It is located around 780 kilometers north of the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa, at a latitude and longitude of 13 degrees 29 and 39 degrees 28 E, 13.483 degrees north, 39.467 degrees east, 13.483 39.467, with an elevation of 2,084 meters above sea level. Administratively, Mekelle is considered a special zone, which is divided into 7 sub-cities. These are Adi Haki, Ida, Hadinet, Horelti, Kadamaiwana, Quiha, and Semian. This places the city in between the Addis Ababa and Dawa charted cities, as well as the Aksum and Ada Great Wardash. The city is an economic, cultural, and political hub in the northern region of the country. Overview. Mekelle is one of Ethiopia's principal economic and educational centers. Intercity bus service is provided by the Selim Bus Line Share Company and its city bus service provided by Amora Buses. A new international standard airport, Alula Aba Nega Airport, AWA's opened and it has direct flights from the capital city of Sudan, Khartoum. Local industry includes Mesfin Industrial Engineering, a steel fabrication and manufacturing factory which also have car assembly line and Mesebo cement factory. Northern Ethiopia's principal cement production facility. Both are companies owned and managed by the Endowment Fund for the Rehabilitation of Tigray. In May 2000, Mekelle University was created by the merger of Mekelle Business College and Mekelle University College, and a number of private colleges and universities located in the city are providing diploma and bachelor's degree programs. There are 2 primary local landmarks in this city. The Tigrayan People's Liberation Front monument commemorating the struggle against an overthrow of the Derg is visible from anywhere in the city, pictured below. The monument is above 50 meters high, standing on a large mound which makes the monument appear bigger than its actual size. The other is the Palace of Johannes IV at the center of Mekelle. It was built at the emperor's command by Giacomo Neretti, who had served Johannes already at Debre Tabor, with the assistance of William Schimper, and completed in 1884. The complex still stands and now serves as a museum, where the emperor's throne, royal bed, ceremonial dress, rifles and many other valuable historical collections can be seen. Other notable landmarks include the churches Enda Gabia, Enda Jesus Mekelle Bet Mengist, Mekelle Isis, Mekelle Mayum, Mekelle Selassie, and Mekelle Tekel Haymanot. Trans-Ethiopia and Guna Trading are the local football teams from the city. Both have been competing in the Ethiopian Premier League. A local market has been held every Monday since at least 1890. History. According to local historians, Mekelle was founded in the 13th century. Mekelle was one of the major cities of Endete province alongside Entelo. Mekelle's heyday came later during the late 19th century, after Johannes IV was crowned as King of Kings of Ethiopia, and chose Mekelle as the capital of his realm. It was here that his son and heir, Rasariya Selassie, died of smallpox in June 1888 while assembling an army to support his father. After Johannes' death at the Battle of Metemmeh, his successor Emperor Menelik II came to Mekelle 23 February 1890, where he accepted the submission of the nobles of Tigray, except for Mengesha Johannes, who had made an appointment to submit 20 days later. The Italians occupied Mekelle from the beginning of the First Italo-Abyssinian War until they surrendered their half-completed fort built on the graveyard of the Church of Enda Jesus in January 1896 following the conclusion of the Siege of Mekelle. The telegraph line the Italians constructed between 1902 and 1904 from Asmara south to Addis Ababa passed through the town, giving it a local telegraph office. Writing in the 1890s, Augustus B. Wilde described the Mekelle market, held on Mondays, as large in size, with the largest salt market in all Abyssinia. and cattle of all sorts available. During the Second Italo-Abyssinian War, the Italian forces of General Emilio de Bono captured Mekelle on 8 November 1935. Mekelle was held by the rebels during the Woyona Rebellion against Emperor Haile Selassie. After the capture of large swathes of the southern Tigray, including the outskirts of Mekelle, the rebels had blocked the highway from Asmara, Addis Ababa 17 September 1943. The emperor's troops evacuated their fortified position at Inda Isis a few days later. However, the city was heavily bombed by British fighter jets under the command of the emperor, which is believed to have deteriorated the morale of the rebels. The open market in the city has been completely destroyed, and is later named after the rebellion Woyona. The market is until now fenced with a chain of shops with concrete tops which has a grave shape to commemorate the people died in market due to the bombing. The emperor's troops recovered Mekelle on 14 October, following the defeat of the Woyona in the Battle of Amber-Alagi. But the fighting was so intense that when Thomas Pakenham visited the city in 1954, he found it a bleak town in a bleak landscape. I was disturbed by the atmosphere. Many of the buildings were in ruins, and there were no new buildings to compensate as there had been in Gondar. I asked an old man in a bar why there was so much damage. He said that I should know, it was we who had bombed it. In 1957, Yohannes IV School was one of 9 provincial secondary schools in Ethiopia. Headquarters was established in Mekelle in 2000 following the end of the Eritrean-Ethiopian War. Demographics. Based on the 2007 census conducted by the Central Statistical Agency of Ethiopia, this town has a total population of 215,914, of whom 104,925 are men and 110,989 women. 2 largest ethnic groups reported in Semi-and-Me-Arabawi were the Tigray and Amhara. All other ethnic groups made up 1.54% of the population. Tigrinya is spoken as a first language by 95.55%, and Amharic by 3.18%. The remaining 1.27% spoke all other primary languages reported. 92.68% of the population said they were Orthodox Christians, and 6.03% were Muslim. The 1994 national census reported a total population for Mekelle of 96,938, of whom 45,729 were men and 51,209 were women. The 2 largest ethnic groups reported in this town were the Tigrayan, the Amhara. Foreigners from Eritrea. All other ethnic groups made up 0.98% of the population. Tigrinya was spoken as a first language by 96.26%, and 2.98% spoke Amharic. The remaining 0.76% spoke all other primary languages reported. 91.31% of the population practiced Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, and 7.66% were Muslim. Concerning education, 51.75% of the population were considered literate, which is more than the zone average of 15.71%. 91.11% of children aged 7 to 12 were in primary school. 17.73% of the children aged 13-14 were in junior secondary school, and 52.13% of the inhabitants aged 15 to 18 were in senior secondary school. Concerning sanitary conditions, about 88% of the urban houses had access to safe drinking water at the time of the census, and about 51% had toilet facilities. Geography. Climate is characterized by relatively high temperatures and evenly distributed precipitation throughout the year. The Köppen climate classification subtype for this climate is, or, as all months average above 18 degrees Celsius. Transport. In 2015, Mekelle is proposed to get a station on the new standard gauge railway system. Education.
Nehashi Turkish International Schools has a Mekelle branch. Twin towns, sister cities: Ramla, Israel; Bayburt, Turkey.